Mars, named after the Roman god of war, has been long regarded as a forerunner in the night sky. The planet's rusty red Earth 2 tells a tale of devastation in its own way. Welcome back to our channel, and today's video will be all about the first 10,000 days on Mars. So stick till the end to know entirely about this technology hotspot. Before diving in, let me remind you to subscribe to our channel for more fun content. Without further ado, let's dive in. The landing of 5 starships on Mars marks the first of the Mars colony. Before this day, all of the rovers sent to Mars by various countries have been watching the 5 uncrewed starships land and deliver life support systems. Humans will be able to land on Mars in 2 years. Thanks to these pioneering starships, fish will be grown in 9 years and the first baby will be born on Mars in 15 years. At Airbus Montes, the 5 starships touched down. The container ships are carrying life-supporting equipment, solar panels, backup fuel, oxygen, water, dried food waste management system, spacesuits, medical supplies, and the first habitation pods are among the items on the list. Experimentation software and equipment are also available. One of the Starship carries the new Starlink communication network for Mars set on the orbit before leaving to deliver life support cargo. The Martian Starlink can be established with just 4 satellites. The Mars base can be condensed into a single location. Solar panels the size of 7 football fields are also on the cargo list. This will be used to power the base's future operations as well as fuel production. On Mars, solar panels are just 43% as effective as they are on Earth. From the Starship to the Martian surface, rovers and robotic dogs developed by Boston Dynamics, which SpaceX uses to inspect rockets on Earth, are deployed. The construction of the Mars base begins. The solar arrays are deployed by the rovers and robots, and the preparation work for the fuel production experiments begin. Drilling for icy water deposits begins with the rovers. The Saboteur method uses heat and the pressure to convert CO2 from the Martian atmosphere and hydrogen from mining Martian icy waters into water, oxygen, and methane fuel. To prepare a large flat landing pad, multi-purpose rovers begin flattening and melting the loose regolith on Mars. It decreases the amount of dirt and rocks kicked up, making subsequent landings safer. The whole population of Mars is made up of robots. 2 years and 2 months have passed since the first cargo ships have landed for the first time, and a new launch window has opened as Earth and Mars are once again close together. The work schedule for the next 2 years starts. Days on Mars are slightly longer than 24 hours. Since the gravity on Mars is just 38% of that on Earth, unpacking and transporting large objects is made easier. After the life support systems have been unpacked and deployed, the next step is to test and start the cryomethane fuel production. Fuel is needed for the return journey to Earth. A small crew of astronauts starts to see experiments to see whether the Martian soil can be turned into a 3D printing material. In addition, the Green Project will begin to growing plants indoors. The first settlers on Mars begin to farm the Martian soil. Designer plants that have been genetically modified to thrive on Mars have been packed by NASA, and research on the cyanobacteria that have been shipped from Earth has begun. This organism uses nitrogen in the Martian atmosphere to manufacture ammonia fertilizer. Crops like rye, radishes, tomatoes, beans, carrots, and potatoes are grown, and the astronauts' waste is recycled as plant fertilizer. Fish will be delivered to Mars base soon. Back on Mars, a single Starship takes off, carrying the entire 30-person crew who have been living on the red planet for over 2 years. On Mars, the second party of settlers arrives. The first permanent collection of small greenhouse domes is installed. Locally produced produce now accounts for a small portion of the world's food supply. The AI Space Factory 3D printer uses a combination of Martian soil and lab-grown plants as glue, with polymers holding material together. The Depot X, the first permanent dedicated fueling station on Mars, is being built by SpaceX. SpaceX also has factories on Earth that can produce 2 starships every week. 104 starships are constructed every year at a cost of $5 million each, and 216 starships are ready for launch each window. Since the Earth and Mars orbit the Sun at different speeds, there's only one launch time every 2 years and 2 months, when they are the nearest to each other. During each launch window year, there are just a few days as low as 12 to launch, with 4 per day. The launch window is between 30 and 2 hours long. As a result, a fleet of cargo and crewed ships is being assembled, ready to launch when the window opens. International space agencies are now sending their own scientists and equipment to Mars Base Alpha. Jeff Bezos has registered the domain name Amazon.Mars. Blue Origin intends to begin shipping to Mars for space agencies first, then private clients. Since now there is enough water being made on Mars, the new Starship crew has transported fish from Earth to build an aquaponic greenhouse. The first funeral is held with the settlers being cremated and scattered across the Martian landscape before returning to Earth. In low Earth orbit, a fleet of Starship carrying fuel cargo and passengers is waiting. They launch as a fleet to Mars when the window opens. During the 7-month journey, the spacecraft will assist and dock with each other if necessary. This year 2035 will be remembered as a great crossing of the Earth, with Mars being closer than average. Perihelic opposition is the term for this. The trip is cut in half from 7 to 5 months. Hundreds of settlers have now arrived on Mars. As the international ecosystem grows and becomes a town-sized settlement of interconnected domes, autonomous industrial-scale 3D printers are now used to grow the foundation. The first Martian hospital is built, and as more facilities are built, an increasing number of people decide to stay on Mars. The first people to settle permanently on Mars arrive. The colony reaches a population of 1,000 people. On Mars, even a small scale of television show is produced. The first Martian marriage is being observed from both Earth and Mars. Simultaneously, Discovery missions reveal cave systems that could be used to establish protected underground environments. The tunnel diggers from the Boring Company lands on Mars and starts digging underground tunnels for shielded passageways and underground habitat building. This is the start of Elon Musk's mundane Mars business. Robotic bases have now been built in various locations away from the main base. Nation-states begin building smaller habitats away from the base as mining outposts. Habitats transform from strictly functional structures to expressive icons of national pride as they become embassies on Mars. On Mars, the first person is born. Scientists pay careful attention to the mother's and the baby's welfare. A significant proportion of the newcomers are now paying for a 2-year stay. All travelers must continue to contribute to the development of the Martian community. The first Martian political system is formed with the arrival of over 7,000 people on Mars. Local policies are required to help rule the inhabitants of Mars and to keep the colony's mission of self-sufficiency alive. On Mars, the first restaurant serving bioprinted food, including meat, opens. The first fully autonomous orbital manufacturing station from Blue Origin has arrived in Mars orbit. Asteroids are processed for rare materials on the space station. It is done in space to avoid polluting Mars's atmosphere. The products are then transported to the Martian surface. Elon Musk inaugurates the world's first gigafactory on Mars. They recycle solar panel batteries, build open and enclosed electric transporters, and maintain ATVs and other SpaceX vehicles here. The year 2051 has been dubbed the Second Great Crossing. Because of near orbits of Earth and Mars, another massive movement of people and equipment is possible. Hundreds of thousands of people arrive on Mars. The crossing is rendered by government officials from various Earth nations. Mining firms send managing teams and exploration geologists to set up small company ecosystems. Mars is now fully self-sufficient in all basic products thanks to AI robotics and productive human workforce. The colony generates all of its own electricity, as well as its own breathable air, water, food, and fuel. The Mars colony will live and expand in a primitive manner if resupply missions from Earth were to cease. To keep the colony growing as an advanced civilization, advanced electronics from Earth are still needed. The first Mars-born human visits Earth to commemorate 10,000 days since humans landed on Mars. The traveler is aided by a robotic suit powered by a neural connection brain chip that helps sustain them in the heavy Earth's gravity. Large, enclosed greenhouse domes constructed over melting ice lakes near the equator on Mars support greenlands and woody plants. They're gradually introducing oxygen to Mars's atmosphere. On the Martian floor, the first strands of grass are discovered growing wild. Seedlings that survived the greenhouse are attempting to live on Mars's surface. We have reached the end of this video. What are your thoughts on planet exploration? It definitely looks like a place worthy of visiting, right? Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, do us a favor by clicking the like button and smashing that subscribe button. Ring the notification bell for more tech updates, and might as well comment down below your thoughts on the digital city. We will be back with another video. Until then, stay tuned.